Hi everyone, StacyBurke here. I'm on my exercise bike. I got my hair in a bun because it's a really hot day in California. Just got off work and doing emails and stuff, and Roy's at work, so I got the house to myself. So I thought, first I need to clean the house, but I'm procrastinating about that right now. But I wanted to make a video because since Roy's not here, it'd be perfect so I don't get interrupted or thought. And there's this one story time I've been wanting to tell you, but I don't know how I'm going to start it because I'm trying to remember. Like I say, in the morning everything comes together really clear, and then as it goes on in the day, I lose my concentration. But I'm going to do it anyway. It's about this roommate I had. We all had those, right? Pretty much all of us, kind of. I'm just thinking about other ones. But when I was young, when I was 18, I moved out, but I didn't move out like normal people. I wanted my own home, but I couldn't afford my own home. And at that time, I was working like 3 jobs. Like literally, I was working boom, 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 boom. You know, I just had all this energy, so I was like working like crazy. I bought myself a mobile home because I've always wanted a mobile home because it's your own little house, right? You get a yard. It's just like your own little house. I thought it was just perfect. You have your own little neighborhood, and it's about the same price of renting. So why not? And so I thought, like, oh, I could sell it and use a down payment for a house. That was my plan. Of course, that's a different subject about the mobile home because I actually do like living in mobile home parks. It was really cool. I had a pool. I had a rec room, which had a library and pool tables, and had a laundry room, and you have your carport, and then you had a shed, and then I had my own little house with a yard. It was lovely. It was lovely. Well, I was working, like I told you, 3 jobs. But one of the places I was working was a fried chicken place. And it wasn't like, it was a mom and pop fried chicken place. It wasn't like KFC or anything like that. And, leads me to another story. But, my boyfriend at the time, his parents owned it. But then when my boyfriend died, I stayed working there. And they would hire a bunch of people, different people, and then they hired this one girl, Diane. She was diabetic, and she was a nice girl, kind of down on her luck. Well, his parents offered her. This is when I didn't really stick up for myself. I kind of just did whatever my elders told me. But they basically, she worked for them. She needed a place to stay. They go, oh, you can work with Stacy. You could go live with Stacy. She has her own mobile home, and she could probably use the extra money. So they basically offered her that she could be my roommate. Did I want one? No. Did I need one? No. But they offered it to her. But she never came around. Like, she never did it. So I was thinking to myself, oh, she probably doesn't want to live here, whatever. I just kind of like chalked it up like it ain't going to happen. Well, then I met this guy, and we went on a date, and we go back to my house, watching TV. After a date, how you watch TV, you make out, you watch TV. This is my first date with him. We're on the couch, watching TV, making out, watching TV. A car pulls up. It is the mother of my ex-boyfriend that's dead, that I work with, who's my boss, pulls up with Diane, with all her stuff. So Diane is moving in. I'm on the couch with my date. He's like, well, I guess you're busy. I'll let you go. So That was the end of my day. Diane, so I'm like, okay, chuck it up, whatever. Diane moves in. Now, it was only a 1-bedroom little house, but the living room was really big, and I had a day bed, so that was going to be her room. So, I thought it was all okay. I was waitressing also at the time. Like I said, I had 3 jobs. And I would keep my money, like all my tip money someplace, and she knew where my tip money was. And I thought everything was cool. Like, everything was cool. It was kind of nice to have a girl stay there and, had someone there. And it was kind of cool. Like, I never really had that growing up. I kind of was raised like an only child. But then, and see, I was like, if you follow my vlogs, I was very naive. I think I'm still kind of naive, but more so then. I was really naive. Like, things would just go over my head, like, so bad. Okay, sometimes I would go for my tip money, and there'd be some missing, and then sometimes I would go to my tip money, because if you get tips, you get a lot of dollars and stuff. I didn't go to the bank all that time, so I would like put stacks of, ones, and I'd roll them up, and I had a certain special area for my tips. And one time I had to get some cash, and I go in my tip jar, and I see a piece of paper say, I owe you, I don't know how much it was, maybe I owe you $20. And I thought, well, that ain't cool, because I might need it, But for the most part, she was pretty good at paying me back. Just took a while. And then, okay, she's a diabetic, but she would eat so many pickles. And she would get all bloated, and she had syringes all over the place because she had to inject herself. And she had this scar on her leg that looked like it was going to get really bad. And then a lot of my spoons would go missing. And then the few spoons that I had, it looked like she was eating yogurt because there were dried yogurt stains on them. Well, keep following along. They weren't yogurt stains. But just things started getting progressively bad. She had this sister that would come around, and sometimes I would come home and her sister would just be in my living room with some guy, and and then she had her friends come around that I didn't know very well. Like, she would just have random people come over, and I started not liking this, and I didn't like them. There was something odd about it. And then I realized, or I don't know how I realized, but since she's a diabetic, a lot of people were, sorry if I'm out of breath a little bit, I'm riding my exercise bike. A lot of people were buying her syringes off of her for drugs. Because she was a diabetic, so I guess she got syringes. And then I had these, well, I still have them. They're statue lions that I always had in the front of my place or in front of my door. It costed me like, I don't know, $150 each at the statue place. I just always love those lions. If you ever see like places that have those lions. Well, I came home one day and they were missing. And I thought that's odd because they're heavy statue concrete lions. Like, they're heavy. I asked her about it. She goes, oh, I think my friends took them. I go, why would your friends take my lions? She goes, oh, I owe them some money. Well, I found out it was a drug money, and she owed him money. So they took my lions. Well, and not only that, there was a lot of other things missing. Like little by little, I'd find things missing, find things missing, find things missing. And I didn't know what to do about it. I kept just confronting her, and she acted like, oh well, like I'm a wimp. What am I gonna do about it? She kind of just laughed it off, or like sometimes she'd be like, I'm sorry or whatever. But when my lions went missing, there's something that snapped in me, because those lions represent something like when I first moved out, that was what I bought, and $150 each, so we're talking about $300 for those pair of lions, which was a lot for an 18-year-old kid that's moving out and getting her own place. And they really meant something special to me. So, I want to get my lions back. She tells me where they live. So I go to where I work, and I get my friend Charlie. I go, hey Charlie, he's this kid. Scrawny little kid, but he's a guy. I go, come with me, I want to go get my lions. He comes with me. Well, I went to the house. I didn't know this, but this is a known drug house. I found this out later, I think. Sorry if it's really loud outside. It's a hot day at the beach, so everyone's out. A lot of cars are out. Well, anyway, I knock on the door. It looks dark, but I know they're home because I called them saying, hey, I'm coming after my lions. And they were just kind of gave me the runaround, you know, like, I don't know. I forget what they said. It's been so long ago. But I go after my lions. I knock on the door. Takes a long time. I'm pounding on the door. Finally, someone answers. It's a girl. And she basically is telling me, get the hell out of here, or you're not getting your lions. I go, I know my lions are here. I'm here for my lions. The screen door opens out. She has a crazed look on her face. She goes after my throat. I've never really been in a fight, say my ass. Like, I've been bullied, I've been attacked, but I never really actually fought somebody. Her hands are around my throat. I go to grab for her throat. But then we're both choking each other. It's not working out. So I go to punch her. Never punched anyone in my life. I go to punch her. Halfway through the punch, I'm feeling bad about it. Like I'm regretting it. Like I don't want to hit someone. Like there's something in me that just said, this is not you. I don't know. There's this. I went to punch her full force, and halfway through it, I just couldn't. So my wrist went limp, and it was like basically grazed her. It didn't even hurt because like literally it went limp. Well, that just made her angry because she went after me. I don't remember how I ended up on the ground, but I ended up on the ground, and every time I tried to get up, she would kick me in the face. I'd get up, she'd kick me in the face. And I remember looking up, and I saw my friend Charlie not go at her, but kind of like try to stop her, like, hey, let her go. She went crazy on him, like, you want a piece of me? You want a piece of me? And I saw Charlie go, no. And then she came over to me and kicked me again. I thought my teeth were gone. Like, I don't know. I was going to say, you know how it is, but I don't know. Maybe you don't. When you get kicked in the face so many times, it kind of goes numb. You feel the blood, but you think like, oh, God, my teeth are gone. You think it's probably really bad, but you really don't know. And you would think I would learn my lesson, but no, I'm screaming, saying, I ain't leaving without my lions. I ain't leaving without my lions. And I'm getting blood all over the porch. And finally, since I'm making so much noise, and this whole thing is making noise, and of course, I'm sure the neighbors are hearing it, and they don't want the neighbors to know what's going on. So I see a group of guys carrying my lions to my car. This one had my convertible Buick LeSabre. I think it was in 1970. And they're carrying them to my car, and they're putting them in my back seat. And I'm getting up, and I'm just yelling, I'm gonna leave here, fuck you. I'm livid. I'm so upset. Even though I know it's not even about fighting, I'm just pissed. Like, I never had anything done like that to me before. That was just my first time being, like, stolen from, that I knew who stole it from me, that was, I thought were my friends or a friend of a friend, and I got beat up, and like it just was a lot to process. And I'm yelling because I don't care. Let the cops come, right? Let the cops come. Well, the lions are in my car. Charlie is like, come on, Stacy, let's go. Let's go. You got your lions. What are you standing on the front porch still yelling? But I'm not processing it all. I'm just so friggin' pissed over the whole thing. I'm thinking my teeth are gone. I'm just pissed. Finally, I realized, okay, I got my lions. I don't want to jeopardize Charlie's life, my life. I got my lions. That's what I came here for. I'm out of here. Get in my car, and I drive off, take them home, clean myself off, got my lions back. And when I finally confronted Diane, she looked at me like, she just laughed. She goes, so you got beat up, huh? And she goes, I forget the girl's name to beat me up, but she goes, you got beat up by so-and-so? She's such a wimp. I can't believe she beat your ass. That was her response to that I was nobody because this lame girl that's not a good fighter beat my ass. And I'm thinking, this is not like a prize fight. This is not like, I should have never even gotten that situation. Anyway, I just can't believe that response. And if that happened now, it'd be a different story. But back then, all this life lessons were new to me. I was like, I never met someone that thought like that before. It was just like, and then part of me was thinking, am I in the wrong? Am I in the wrong? You know, like, I was like, what? Well, it never got better. Her friends were white supremacists, and they were, at that time I was dating that black guy, and I overheard them on the phone calling me monkey plug and all this kind of stuff. And there's been times where I wanted them out of the house, like they were like lingering and partying. And I knew these black twins who were also part of this musical group that I was in, and they were security guards. So I would have them come over in their security guard outfits just to like scare these people away from my house. And they were just really bad. There's a known druggies. And then her sister, one time I came home, no one was home. It was her sister and her sister boyfriend in my kitchen. And I didn't want any company, and I basically said, look, you need to go. Well, she threw a fit. And she threw my car keys at me so hard on my leg that I had such a welt. And she just yelled at me, and I started crying because I never was talked to so rude. And she was scary, and she just yelled at me, and I just get out of my house, just get out of my house. And then she goes, well, you owe my sister rent then, because she paid for this month, and basically just making it look like I'm in the wrong for making her sister live in such a terrible place. You know, because I wasn't really that much into housework, but it was just, I was a kid, you know. And Diane wasn't into housework either. But anyway, she was very abusive, but she finally left. Oh, another thing, she kept on yelling at me. She threw spoons at me. She goes, do you see what's on the spoons? Diane is a speedballer. And I had no idea what that meant. And she told me what you do. You get a spoon, and you put speed on it, and you light it with a lighter, and you shoot up. You shoot up. And that's why people were buying her syringes, because she was hanging out with all these speedballers that they inject themselves, because they wanted her syringes, and they were kind of using her for syringes, and she was selling her syringes, and she was kind of like not really using her insulin as much as she should have, and she got really sick, and so her sister was like telling me that I'm to blame, that don't you know what's going on? You're letting my sister do this. And I'm like, I don't even know what you're talking about. She showed me the spoons, and I was like, because I don't think her sister ever met someone that had no idea about the drug world. Like, I did not know. And then I learned then, but I was very fearful of her sister, because she was basically being very abusive to me and throwing things at me, and made a big old welt on my leg from throwing the keys at me. And I did call the cops and stuff, and it just got bad. It took me so much time and effort to get Diane out of my house, and because I was like, what am I doing? You know, like, all these drug people are coming over my house, and it's not a secret place, and it's like, this is not my world. It's not my world. You know, in your home, I've been saying this, your home is where you have to feel the most safe at. Your home is your sanctuary. You're the place where you go to feel the most safe. It's your home. And when you don't feel that at home, and then I had my animals, my cats, and it was a bad situation. And then later on, I found out, a few years later, Diane, I guess her leg had to get amputated, because she had this scar on her leg that never really healed, and then finally it did get amputated. And I heard that the people did turn on her, because she was all her friends were those white supremacist people. And I was telling Diane, I go, you're part Puerto Rican. Your mom is like, barely speaks English. Don't they know who you are? Like, if they find out, they're going to turn on you. And she was trying to keep it secret. And, yeah. I don't know. I don't know where the story's going, but I have a lot of stories like that. Like, just being naive and learning the hard way of what's out there in the world, you know? I'm still that way a little bit. Thank God. I guess it's a good thing, right? Like, it's whacked, man. It's whacked. Of course, I live like in the Pomona area, California area, which is it's known for all that. You would think I would learn about it more. I mean, I remember being. No, this video's getting too long. I was gonna say when I was an Avon lady and I used to go door to door. Yeah. Yeah, I got more stories. Anyway, that's my story time with my druggy roommate, and it took a lot to get her out. So be careful. And also, rule of thumb, if you do live with anybody, don't have the utilities under your name, because you could be left with a big bill. I'll tell you about that story. Remind me about that one. How the phone, when you used to have a landline phone. Yeah, just be really careful out there. Alright, well, I love all my Stace-Cadets and all my Burkettes. Until next time, peace. I'm out of breath already, but I'm still pedaling. I gotta shoot next week. I'm trying to lose some weight for my shoot. Peace. There goes Clyde.